Hello my esteemed viewers. This tutorial, fourth in the series, in the playlist Technical Aptitude related analytical skills. We start with C++ programming tutorial, and the questions that are discussed over here are drawn from several company question papers and GATE question papers. In total, we have around 50 questions at our desk, right? And in this tutorial, we will bring out 25 such questions of lower complexity. To start with, C front stands for when C++ was developed, it did not have a compiler. It used C front, which translated the C++ code into a C code, and then the existing C compiler was used to compile the program originally written in C++. Therefore, it's a tool. It's a tool that translates a C++ code to its equivalent code. Therefore, C is the answer. Second question, the following program segment, integer I equal to 10, since it comes above the main, it is a global declaration, and within main there is a local variable I equal to 20, and within this program once again we have a block where integer I is once again redefined and it is equal to 30. Now we are trying to print out I alone and I with scope resolution operator. The first I brings 30, and the second one, which is with scope resolution operator, and you should know the scope resolution operator that's over here is basically meant to manipulate a global variable in case local variable has the same name. Okay, that is the thing. Therefore, the answer is 30, 10. So 30 will be printed over here on account of this I being a local variable, and since the same I comes with a global scope resolution operator, and this scope will be resolved and 10 will be printed. So it will be 30 and 10 side by side. A function fun is defined as void function integer x equal to 0, integer y, and integer z equal to 0. And we have printed output to be cout x, y, and z. The question is, which of the following function calls are illegal? Okay, assume h, g are integers in place of x and y, of course. Fun can we define like this? Fun of h can be defined like this. Fun of h comma h can be defined like this, because this is a parameterized function in terms of C++ parlance. Since the second argument is mandatory because it is not at all initialized, any call should have at least first two parameters. Therefore, C should be the answer. And these two are illegal, and C is the answer exactly, and it is not none of the above. Okay, and we will go for the fourth question. Reusability is desirable feature of a language, as it is a desirable feature even for any language, as a matter of fact. Therefore, this question happens to be a very general question. Reusable code is an already used code, as you know, as the name implies, as the name itself would imply. Hence, it is a bug-free and pre-tested. So there is no need to test it. Okay, the answers that are coming over here are decreases the testing time, lowers the maintenance cost, it increases the code size. It decreases the code size. Therefore, the correct answer should be the first two. It decreases the testing time because it is already being tested. It lowers the maintenance cost because it is bug free. Then fifth question, choose the correct statements regarding inline functions. And as a precursor to this inline functions, each occurrence of the inline function call will be replaced by its body. No, of course, there is no function call overhead. Of course, a stack need not be implemented by the operating system. But the size of the code will increase because it makes a complete substitution wherever that function is called. Therefore, it increases the size of the code. That should be the correct answer. Sixth question, if many functions have the same name, which of the following information, if present, will be used by the compiler to invoke the correct function to be used? It should be the function signature. Actually, it should be the function signature in order to, as well as the operator, because the object will be encoded with this particular scope resolution operator along with the function name, and function signature will decide which function is to be executed, for which function is to be invoked by the compiler. The statements, integer a equal to 5, see out first, and next a left shift operator, actually, okay, left shift operator and 2. Then second, first, which is the printout, which statement is the printout, as far as what exactly is printed by this cout statement, that is a question. And the meaning of left shift operator is just releasing 2 bits. The symbol double lesser than symbol has a context sensitive meaning. This particular operator indicates it means shifting a by 2 bits to the left, which is nothing but, and when 2 bits go out from the left, and from the right there will be 2 zeros that will be entering into the scene. Okay, the resultant answer would be the original value multiplied by 2 to the power of 2, because it makes 2 shifts. Because 2 is there over here, it makes 2 shifts. Therefore 2 to the power of 2 is the thing which will be multiplicand, and 2 to the power of 2, it will be multiplied by 4. Therefore we should get first, then 20, and second. Okay, B should be the correct answer. Next, a constructor is called whenever an object is declared, an object is used, a class is declared, a class is used. It's actually, as soon as the object is declared, the constructor will be invoked even if you have not defined the constructor by default, and it will initialize the object. Therefore, as soon as the object is declared, a constructor is called. Right. Then the 9th question is, which of the following statements about the differences between the constructors and destructors are correct? We will go through that. Constructors can take arguments, destructors cannot. That's correct. Constructors can be overloaded, but destructors cannot. That is also correct. Constructors must be explicitly written and destructors are not. No, it's not required. Constructors are written by the compiler by default, and destructors may be overloaded, constructors are not. No, constructor, there is no way of overloading a destructor. Therefore, A is the correct answer. Okay, A is the correct answer. B is also the correct answer. Constructors can take arguments, destructors cannot. Constructors can be overloaded, but destructors cannot. 10th question is, the following program fragment, void main, integer x equal to 10. So in the address of x, 10 will be stored, and ampersand, integer ampersand of p, the address of p equal to x. Okay, and cout ampersand p, that is address of p and address of x. They contain whatever that is contained in address of p and whatever that is contained in the address of x. Integer, the second statement, integer address of p equal to x aliases p to x. That means it is a different name given to x. This means they refer to the same memory location. So the address of x will be the same as that of p. Therefore, the value x10 should be printed 2 times. Prints the address of x twice. Prints the address of p twice. It actually prints the address of x twice, or prints the address of p twice. Both are correct, because address of p is nothing but address of x. The following program segment prints, let us see what it is. Void main static character x3 equal to 1 2 3 4. Cout x. As you must have guessed, C++ forbids initialization with strings whose length is more than the size of the array. We have declared, we have said that the number of elements, number of characters in this array, character array called or string x is 3, but here we are initializing it to 1 2 3 4 characters. Okay, therefore C++ forbids. Of course, in C, a C compiler would permit. It would take only 1 2 3. Then it will definitely cause compiler error. Okay, will lead to compilation error. Therefore, D is the correct answer. Right. Which of the following operator cannot be overloaded? Okay. Which of the operator cannot be overloaded? It's actually question mark. This ternary operator and dot operator cannot be overloaded. Okay. Now choose the correct statements. A destructor is not inherited. A constructor is not inherited. None of them are correct. A constructor cannot be called explicitly. I think you must have guessed the answer. All the 3 answers are correct. A destructor is not inherited. Sure. A constructor is not inherited. A constructor cannot be called explicitly. There is no question of calling a constructor explicitly. Right. Now consider the following program segment. Class A public, A void, Cout how, and this is the main function actually. Okay, the definition of the main function called class A, and this is the destructor Cout y. In the destructor also we have printed something, that is y. In the constructor we have printed how, and here is an inherited class which is inherited to A. The class name is B, and it has one constructor by name B, and it has a printout statement when, and it has a destructor. It has a a destructor which has a printout statement called now. Then if the declaration of bx, okay, so B is the class, inherited class, and x is an object. Okay, the declaration of bx prints how, when, now, why. Prints nothing. Prints now, why, when, how. We will go back once again to the previous question. Okay, so first of all, this is to be printed, then this is to be printed. Okay, so the constructor of A should be printed, and the constructor of B, that is the child class, is to be printed. Okay, so how, when, and then destructor of this to be printed because it should vanish from the screen. Then y is to be printed. Okay, therefore how, when, now, why. Okay, this is the property, this is the printf statement of the constructor, and this is the parent class, and this is now the destructor of the child class, and y is the destructor of the parent class. If the main function has the following 2 statements, b of x, cout done. Okay, so it has 2 statements, main function. Therefore first of all, it should be exactly 15th. Okay, the 15th question, this is exactly b of x, cout done. It should be this one. How, the thing comes from the constructor, when the things comes from the destructor, done, this will be printed, and before they are removed from the memory, memory. This is the child class destructor, and this is the outcome of the destructor of the main class. Okay, therefore this is to be printed. Great. 16. Class dog, public X and public Y. Public X and public Y. There are two classes publicly defined under the umbrella of class dog. Therefore it should be multiple inheritance. There is no doubt about this. Therefore it should be multiple inheritance. The 17th question. A compiler identifies a virtual function to be pure, and you can guess, my respected viewers can guess, it should have been equated to 0. Then only it can be identified by a compiler that this is a pure virtual function. Right, this should be the correct answer. 18. If ape is the friend class of sapien, ape is the friend class of sapien, human is the child class of sapien, monkey is the child class of ape, then which statements are true? Which statements are true? Let us see. Sapien is not the friend of ape, sure. Ape is not the friend of human, sure. Monkey is not the friend of sapien, that is also correct. Therefore the three answers must be correct. Okay. And friend function, actually there can be some other class which can be a friend of the other class. Okay. Right. A class having no name. A class having no name cannot have a constructor, sure. Cannot be passed as an argument, yes. Cannot have a destructor. So A, B, C are the correct answers. Right. 20. Consider the following segment of the program. A equal to 1, B equal to 2. A equal to change B. So B will be passed. So change function brings in a parameter that is equal to 2 under B. So now, before this is printed, the things will come, the control will be passed to this particular function, change integer x. So x is an alias to B, x will have 2 now, 2 being transferred. But here is a local variable x equal to 10, but it is returning 11. It is returning. It is this value which will go and occupy in A. So A will get 11. B is whatever that is there in this particular function, whether it is main or whatever. This is the local variable as far as this particular segment is concerned. Therefore, you should print 11 that is being transferred from this transferred from this function, sent from this function, or returned from this function. Then B is a local function variable. Then it results in, it prints 1 1 2 side by side. Right. Overloading is otherwise called, it is not virtual polymorphism, it is not also transient polymorphism, it is not pseudo polymorphism, it's not a pseudo polymorphism, it is ad hoc polymorphism. Okay, it is called as ad hoc polymorphism. Overloading is also called as ad hoc polymorphism. It's a terminology, that's all. If a piece of code can be implemented as a macro or as an inline function, which of the factors favor inline function? Macros, okay, let us see the answers over here. Speed of execution, flexibility to manipulate as a pointer, source code size, interaction with the other components of the program. Actually, macros do not have an address associated with them, as they are processed by the preprocessor. It is not they are not processed by the compiler anyway. They cannot be passed as arguments to a function. Also, macros are replaced in a blind manner without any regard to the context, which may result in a stupid code. Like, let us say, if we have defined, let us say, I will try to write this. Okay, if we have let us say, I will write somewhere over here. Okay, for the sake of clarity, define, if we have defined multiplication, let us say multiplication A comma B equal to A star B, let us say. And then if we make a call to, let us say, multiplication A comma B plus 1, if we do this, what happens is A into B plus 1. This is what the answer we are going to get. It is A into B, that is AB plus 1. Though we expected the things to work this way, A into B plus 1. No, it's not going to place the brackets and it's going to directly multiply, and this is the disastrous answer that you are going to get. Therefore, flexibility to manipulate as a pointer, okay, B as well as D. D is also correct. Actually B and D is also correct. Now the fields in a class is by default they are private. Okay, by default they are private. A function that does the same operation on different data types is called as, I think you must have expected, it is called as template functions, right? At what point of time a variable comes into existence in memory is determined by, it is not by scope, it is not by type of data, it is not by global scope, it is by storage class identification, right? Which of the following specifiers, okay, data specifiers, okay, which of the following specifiers are also called qualifiers, which of the following specifiers need not be honored by the compiler? Okay, register is there, inline is there, static is there, and extern is there. Register and inline are not compiler directives, but rather a request to the compiler. These requests need not be honored by the compiler. So it is only register and inline. Sometimes they need not be honored by the compilers. So with this we have covered some simple C++ multiple choice questions, okay, that I chose from internet and GATE question papers and some of the company question papers. Of course, there are some of the company question papers that I will take up in the next tutorial. They are little complex when compared to the anyway, this can hold a this can gently hold the hands of a prospective let us say prospective student who would be venturing into campus placement activities. So with this we complete this tutorial number 4 on technical aptitude. If you have liked this video, kindly subscribe if you have not yet done that, not yet subscribed. So until I come out with what is that, tutorial number 5, bye.